Welcome to Sexual Frequency, a non judgmental place where we can play, explore, and vibe into the new paradigm of intimacy and sexuality together. I'm your host, Goddess Lore, and we are back in the studio, baby, for season 2. We're in our new home, Infinity Studios. Shout out to you in Monterey Park. Yes. Tonight, we are inviting you on a journey to go back and think about your pleasure lineage. We're inviting our ancestors into the space and remembering those who first awakened our senses to pleasure. Can you recall the times when you first felt butterflies? The events and people who made you question, wonder, and explore yourself and your world? Maybe it was the aromas from your grandparents' home, or the way a certain texture made you feel, a song, or the mere presence of an individual. Let's explore tonight and show some gratitude for those that came before us. Yes. And sitting right next to me is the one, the only Rick Rock with the hard cock. How you doing, boo?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm doing good, Mama. Glad to be back. Season 2 in the studio.
Season 2. Are you feeling more at home? You're back on the board.
Yeah, kind of. Still getting a little used to it. There's a lot to do here, so we're gonna keep it professional and keep it going.
It is. It's a little bit getting used to, right? It's just like, when you get like a new car or like a new like tech toy, you need some time to kind of adjust and get into it, right?
Right.
So we're coming off of our first live show, guys, on 420. That was pretty dope. But before we get into it, Rick, tell the people what time it is.
It's time for that pre-roll.
Yes, pre-roll, baby. Rick's gonna let you know our newest and hottest sponsor. Let's go.
All right, 1 second here. So we got our new sponsor. Let me get this on here. Let me remove us real.
Yo, if you were not at the live show, you guys truly missed out because 360 Photo Booth Expert was there and they provided such an amazing experience for us. It was like the first time I had ever done one of the like 360 photo booths. Have you guys ever done any of that?
I haven't.
I have never done it.
Yeah, it was the first time and it was like really great. It was so much fun. And listen, Agatha and Gabby always going above and beyond. I appreciate them so much. So shout out to you. Make sure you go and follow their page. All the information is on the ticker. And you can always go to the website. What was that website again, Rick?
That's 360photoboothexpert.com.
Yes. Before we get into like the full debrief of our live show, I want to introduce our in-studio guests that are joining us tonight. Hey. So, tonight is a special night because not only is it like the first night in the studio, but the high priestess is here and she is debuting her segment on Sexual Frequency. I'm so excited. Horny astrology, y'all gonna have to wait for that because you gotta wait to the end, baby. You're gonna want to know what you're gonna need to prep for this month because listen, the skies be talking. We want to know what they have to say. And also joining us tonight, you already know her. She is a personal friend of mine and Rick. She is a friend of the show, Eileen Calderon.
Hey.
Welcome back, girl.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Congratulations on
Thank you.
being in the studio again and the live last week, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you. That's right. It was my birthday on 420. What? How are you ladies feeling tonight?
Excited.
Great.
I'm excited for the priestess here. I'm excited for you guys. So yeah,
I'm
let's
so
get
excited
this ball
for
rolling.
Priestess. Like y'all do not even know.
I don't know if I'm scared to hear my astrology.
I'm excited, and it's like extra honoring to be on the first episode being in the new studio.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, during Taurus season, like, you know, one of the most sensual seasons of all, because, you know, us Taurus babies, we're all about the sensuality. We're ruled by Venus. Thank you very much. If you are joining us on YouTube, we love and appreciate you. You're getting up close and personal with us. Sit on our lap, baby girl, baby boy, baby they, them. We have room for all of you. If you're joining us, go ahead and, you know, let us know who's here. Throw a little comment in the chat. If you have any questions, shoot them our way, baby. So let's get into it a little bit. Live show. What did you guys think of the live show? So for those of you who missed it, it was on 420 Wednesday. It was live at Ixtapa Bar and Cantina in Pasadena. Shout out to them. Shout out to Infinity Studios who came out and did all the tech, got us ready and prepped for the event. But you know, y'all were there. Rick, Priestess, what'd y'all think?
It was great. I mean, for first live show, we had a good audience. We had a good, you know, little rhythm going. You know, we had some games. We did a raffle. So it was a great. I mean, for a first live show, for me being involved, yeah. I mean, it was great. It was awesome. I mean, we had a good turnout and so forth. You know. So, what about you girls?
It was definitely dope. Just seeing the interaction with the audience and getting people to come up and say crazy shit. But yeah, it was awesome. It was a good vibe. 420, your birthday, and lots of friends and family there to support. So
it was fun. Yeah, it was great to have people come out and support, just looking out and, you know, seeing people's expressions. And I did not realize how like nerve-wracking it was going to be. I've done one live show before, but as a co-host. So the vibe was very, very different. Like as a co-host, like we had so many things like planned that, you know, at the last minute, like you have to, you know, kind of just accommodate to whatever the situation is. For example, we were supposed to walk in and like get people hyped up to area codes, but the situation was the bar stools that we were sitting on were so slippery that I told Rick, there is no way that I'm going to walk up here and then my happy ass is going to slide right the fuck off of this fucking bar stool. So I made myself comfortable. I adjusted the camera and I said, I'm not fucking going anywhere. We are staying right here. And that was tough because when we first started, it kind of felt like I wasn't expecting for the crowd to be so like quiet initially. So it felt like crickets. Like that was like the first, like a visual, you know how you always just hear a cricket? Like now whenever I hear a cricket, I know the visual is going to be like the live audience, like the first couple minutes of the show. Was a little bit rough, but you know, everybody like, you know, got a little warmed up and we did good. I kind of felt like Oprah. You know, I was like, you get a whole bag, you get a whole bag, you get a whole bag.
I mean, it was a room full of hoe bags, so I think we deserved them.
It was definitely a room full of hoe bags. I love it.
Hoe bags.
And you got a random like super fan.
Oh my God, yes, random super fan. Is that you? Are you watching us right now? That was so great because I thought that he came with like a friend, and it was this one guy, and he was playing the games, and he was like super juiced and really like just into it. Like we finished the live show, and he came up to me and he hugged me and he was like, "Oh man, like keep doing what you're doing. I love your voice." And he's like hugging me, and I was like looking for the person I thought he was with, but then it was like, nah, girl, he's not with me. He was just sitting at the bar. So listen, that's what it was all about, right? Like, you know, exposing other people to like the show and what we do. So we appreciate all of you who came out, those who saw the show on YouTube. We felt so much love, so much support. We still have some extra t-shirts if y'all wanna, you know,
That's
cop a
right.
shirt. We got Priestess and Rick are rocking the
Yeah,
t-shirts,
rocking
like a
shirts
frequency
today, baby.
t-shirt. So
What's your frequency?
hey, we're always improving, baby.
Hit
Always
us up for the merch info, you know, DM us or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got you.
Hit the DM, baby. Rick, I
Yeah.
see somebody who's in our chat.
Yeah, we got
live.
Monica on saying the live show was great.
Hey, shout
Give
out to
some love here.
Monica. Monica coming through. Monica and Lucy. It was great. We had so many like lifelong friends, like friends from high school, so that we've been knowing like 20 plus fucking years. It was like good. And we had season hoes and we had younger hoes because my friend brought all of her hoe friends. It was great. It was a good time. We look forward to having another live show. I don't know, maybe in the summer. What do you think, Rick?
I think we could do that. I think it'll be awesome. I think we were talking about like a little mixer or something like that.
Maybe. Yeah, we want to
Speed
help
dating
people
Get all
like-
these,
sexual frequency.
get all my freaks together. You
Get
know,
the freaks
come-
together. Maybe it's like a pool party vibe. How dope would
Yeah.
that be?
Look, Carol Mommy wants some merch.
Carol Mommy wants the
Hey,
merch.
Carol Mommy, she's a real one. I love you, boo. You got to come to the next live show.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it was a good time, you know. Although I do have to say, because we didn't mention it that night, that we did have Figgy Baby. He was going to do a live performance. Actually, not a
Yeah, a
performance. He was going to do a freestyle.
set. Yeah.
He was so juiced, like him and his DJ, and then at the last minute had to pull out because somebody who he spent a lot of time with ended up getting COVID. So we were like, oh yeah, no, boo. As much as I want to sit on your lap, like you need to stay home.
That's the bad last minute pullout.
yeah.
There's good ones.
Is there? I feel like those are scary. Like scary.
Dangerous is fun sometimes.
I feel like last minute pull out. This is my son.
Thank you. I have a 21-year-old and a 14-year-old pull out.
Speak on it, Eileen.
Get it.
Oh, damn. Anyway, it was a good ass time, and we hope that you can join us next time. We will definitely keep y'all posted. It was a memorable birthday for me.
Yeah, it was a great thing.
It was nice.
420, your birthday,
Yeah,
live
it was
show.
fun.
Oh my god! And then we went to King Taco, and it was like the best King Taco I've had in like
Okay.
forever.
Can we talk about that? Okay, let's talk behind the scenes.
Talk dirty to me.
Let's talk behind the scenes because your girl had not had dinner. Rick, did you have dinner that night?
No.
We did not have dinner. So, man, my mouth watered. So I even said during the live show, yo, someone order me some tacos when I'm done. But that didn't. I was manifesting a lot that night. If y'all remember, I said, can we get some cock up here? And then Mr. BB came up and he was I'm right here. I manifested a shot. I manifested a birthday flan. It was great. I just did not manifest the tacos when I wanted them, but I got them till later and they were so fucking great. But let me tell you, nobody wanted to let me smoke with them because I had a cold sore on my lip. And I was like, please, I'll hold the pen like this. Like, I promise I won't put my lips on it. And everybody was like, fuck no, bitch. I was like, but it's my birthday. I want to smoke, please. So a friend of mine had rolled a J. Are you fine if I tell the story, right, Rick?
Yeah.
A friend of mine rolled me a J, like just for me. So during the raffles, I was like, look, my friend rolled me a J. Like, he's the fucking best. Shout out to you, Jaws. Blah, blah, blah. In my birthday drunkenness, I put the J on the table. And then when we were walking to the car, I wanted to smoke. And I was like, where's my joint? And everybody was like, I don't know. Where did you leave it? We're scouring the whole place. We end up going to King Taco. I'm sure all the 30 people in the line knew that I was like wanting my joint because I was like pretty loud. If y'all haven't seen the footage, I had my hair like up like a fucking genie in a bottle. It was great. I was whipping my hair back and forth like in the King Taco line. And then I remember talking to this group of like young kids. They were like in their early 20s.
Yeah.
Everyone and their mom was at King Taco because it was 420. Everybody's fucking stoned, right? I'm whipping my hair back and forth, and I look up and people are laughing. I'm like, it's all good. It's my birthday. Had a live show. Nothing to see here. So I start talking to these kids, and I'm like, can you believe like these jerks won't let me smoke? And they're just looking at me like crickets. I was like, fuck. Okay, I scared the fuck out of these kids. Whatever. Have the best King Taco of our lives. Go home. Priestess goes to the back to start rolling a joint for me because I had wanted to smoke. As we continue talking about the joint, Ricky's friend that I had just met that night fucking pulls it out of her purse. And she was like, oh, like, is this what you're looking for? And I was all, what? Like, you had it this whole time? But listen, at that point, I was so tired. I had eaten. My face looked like a raccoon. Because there was no escaping the makeup that I was wearing.
Yeah.
It was just all over the place. And I didn't even smoke. Liz came and brought me the J, and she's like, you're not going to fucking smoke? I'm all, no, because I ate. I'm full. I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep. I happily smoked it the next day.
In
But-
retrospect, I think it was good that you didn't smoke that night because you were lit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I
you
was-
could have got
Yeah.
I
those
was
spins
fucking,
down.
You
I
would've
was
been-
lit.
Yeah, you'd have been crossfaded. You'd have
Crossfaded.
been sick the next day. Or...
Can I
Yes,
say,
that's
knock on wood, I have never been crossfaded.
Okay, well that's good.
Wait, but
We
like,
ain't getting any younger, so recovery is a little longer.
you mean crossfaded in a bad way or just in general?
Crossfaded in a bad way.
Okay.
Like, I've never been crossfaded, like, fuck,
Negative.
I'm never doing that shit again. No, I'm always like, fuck it up, let's smoke, who got the drink? Like, let's go.
No, I've been bad and I still do it sometimes. You just get the spins, you lay down, you might throw up, and then it passes.
Carol, what's Carol got going on in the
Carol
chat?
Mommy saying no dinner and the waiter taking your birthday dessert, or was it the tacos?
No, girl. So the waiter comes, somebody orders me like a birthday flan, and then he comes and he was like, oh, is it your birthday? And I was like, yeah. So he's gonna light it, and I was like, no, maybe don't light it. And then people start singing, so I was like, no, okay, light it. But then he was like, oh, but is it yours? And I was like, yeah, it's mine. I go, but who bought it for me? And he was like, I don't know. So I asked the crowd, and then my friend Carla was like, oh, me. So he goes to take the cake to Carla, and I was like, no, but it's me. Yo soy la
Mine.
cumpleañera. Yo soy la cumpleañera.
And
Anyway.
then he proceeded to sing.
And then he proceeded to sing happy birthday to me and call me Panchita. And I was
didn't know that
like,
part.
wow, Panchita, you couldn't have gone with something else? I don't know what else would have been offensive. But anyway, it was fun. It was a good ass time.
She's also saying, referencing you crying, or not the new mascara from Sephora that was waterproof.
Bitch, no, it's because I did a wingtip. I've never done that before. I got my makeup done. Shout out to Areli. If y'all want her contact, let me know. She's not willing to put herself out there yet, but she's fucking good. This bitch is good.
She is.
Areli is the bomb.
She did all our makeup for our dad's wedding.
She did. And that's Momo's BFF. So that's a good time. We're gonna transition to our next segment.
Which segment? Which
Our
one?
next segment called Cochina Chronicles.
Oh,
Ooh. I like it
let me
already.
set you up here. Here we go.
Listen, I need to take a sip of water before I
The
share this
CC.
story.
The C squared. Cochina Chronicles.
Mm. Listen. This segment was birthed today. Actually, it happened today. True real life story. Your girl, I don't know what the mindset was this morning after I showered. I think, I was not thinking about what I had planned to do in the day. And I was thinking about like my cochinadas and like what are Kinky Boo and I, our next plans, right? I was all like, all up in it. So I had to go pick up an order from Torrid. Shout out to you, Torrid. And I get there and they're having like these like big sales. So I was like, ooh, let me try on some clothes right now. Not your girl feeling like it was my birthday. I'm gonna go try on everything, whatever. You know, even if I can't afford it right now, it's all good. Your girl gets to the dressing room, stacks on stacks of fucking clothes. And guys, it wasn't long before I realized that I was going commando. So I was going commando. I went to grab my pants to lower them. And then I was like, bitch, you have no calzones on right now. So I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? But I'm not going to try on jeans. I'm not going to try on anything without underwear. Like, because we're ethical sluts and ethical hoes. Like, we're not going to.
It's not like at the shoe store. Can I borrow a sock?
No.
They wouldn't let you borrow a pair of chonies.
They didn't have.
That should be a thing.
Right?
A plastic sticky on the crotch.
Yes.
Listen, my ass got out of the dressing room and went and picked a pair of thong or a thong underwear. That's not plural. But I picked out a thong and got back to the dressing room and I put it on, and like before I could stop my big fat ass from swallowing up the thong, I realized that I got the wrong size. So it was like one size too small, but it was too fucking late. Like, I'm not gonna be that hoe who's gonna say, excuse me, like this thong that I just tried on, as I've been juicy all day planning my next cochinadas that I'm gonna do, I need to return it. Like, I cannot fucking believe that shit was happening to me. So anyway, whatever. I sucked it up, literally. Oh, I didn't even mean to say that, but I sucked it up literally, and I tried my shit on. Like, I just tried my stuff on. I felt like I took forever in the dressing room because your girl was in a weird headspace at that point, right? Like, at that point, I even texted Kinky Boo, "You're not gonna believe what's happening to me right now as you fucking speak."
Leaving a snail trail in the store.
No, we're ethical hoes. You know, we didn't leave a snail trail. We kept it all in those little tight ass calzones that we fucking had to pay for. Yes. So, you know, I took long. I did take a couple pictures. Then I was scared that the studio might see because they popped up still on my phone. And I was like, Jeff, where are the cameras in here? Did anybody see those photos? But that was my Cochina Chronicles of the day. It happened. It was a real life story. I don't like wearing underwear, and it's okay. But, you know, you have to kind of think about what you're doing in your day, because you don't want to end up, you know, having to buy a thong that is like too small for you, you know, while you're trying to, you know, fucking put jeans on. I see you laughing, Carol Mommy.
Plan
I see
accordingly.
you fucking laughing. Yeah. Plan accordingly. Like, again, no shame in not wearing underwear. As soon as I got home, I took them off and I'm back to not wearing any in my little, what are these, like pedal pushers? I don't know what the fuck you would call these. They're like little yoga
Pedal
pants.
pushers. I think those
Are
were
they
like when
the
we were in
Daisy
high school.
Fuentes?
Pedal pushers.
What?
The Daisy Fuentes one?
Daisy Fuentes. What?
Or oh no, Costco. Is it both Costco and Daisy Fuentes? The ones Momo got us all.
No, those were Jessica Simpson.
Oh, Jessica Simpson.
I was like, Daisy Fuentes, I think that was Kmart. Like, no
Kohl's.
shade to Daisy Fuentes. Maybe oh yeah, maybe Kohl's. A little upgrade. We see it. Yeah, but all my cochinas out there, listen, just plan accordingly. Or be a good hoe and carry a pair of underwear in your purse. I should have done that. That was like
Yeah.
a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
I should have that. Anyway, that concludes Cochina Chronicles. And we appreciate you, Carol, who says she loves the new studio. Hey, shout out
It
to
is
Infinity
nice, I must say.
Studios.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that
Thank you.
segment. And I can't wait for like the
Yes,
next
I'm
one.
like dying for the new stories.
Because there's gonna be like really good ones. I can feel it.
You know, it's funny because I think like last season I thought of doing like a Kinky Boo Chronicles, and then I'm like, nah, that's like too specific. And then today it just hit me. I'm like, oh my, this only these cochinadas happened to me. And then I was like, it's perfect, Cochina Chronicles. Yes, there definitely will be more to come. I don't know if every week. We just got to see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
We'll just
We'll
see,
see
where
how
the wind
cochina
blows.
you get in the week, during the week.
We'll see how much shit you get yourself into
There
in
you
the
go.
next week.
Ay, vey. Yeah, there's definitely stories. Speaking of stories, I wanted to transition into the topic of the night, which you all know. Look, here on Sexual Frequency, you know that we are compassionate sluts and we want everyone to experience sexual liberation and a connection to their erotic energy. You know, I also consider myself a pleasure activist. And this conversation was really inspired by Adrienne Marie Brown, who wrote an amazing book on the topic called Pleasure Activist: The Politics of Feeling Good. And she begins her book by asking the question, who taught you how to feel good? She proceeds to go through her pleasure. She calls it her pleasure activism lineage. She begins with a beautiful story about her grandmother and then just continues to add the many writers and people in her life who have inspired her journey to really kind of live a life that is pleasure focused, or seeing through the lens of pleasure, and you know, seeing it as a not just a human need, but like a right. Like, you know, like we gotta fight for our rights, baby, to pleasure. We really do. And so this was really inspired by her because I started doing the activity. So she gives you homework and she's like, get juicy with it. Like do your pleasure lineage. And at first the task was like a little bit daunting because it's like when you think of lineage, I feel like for me, I started thinking about like, okay, like a family tree, like
Right.
this is this and that is that. Oh my God, did I just do the scuttle? Or what
Yeah,
is it? Not
yeah,
scuttle,
I
but the
think it is.
fish, the
Oh, flounder.
flounder.
This is this and that.
I just did the flounder. Wow. Listen, this is what you get on Sexual Frequency. We're a mixed bag here. And hello, Little Mermaid, huge person in pleasure activism, right? Like this bitch was like, nobody is gonna stop me from experiencing the human world. Okay, not even my dad, who's a fucking god. Like, no, I'm gonna sell my soul to the fucking sea witch because I need to get that human dick.
And she was 16.
Girl,
Little baby horn
16.
dog.
Listen, my grandma probably had 2 kids by that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
So that's probably the people who wrote it in like a later age range. I'm just saying. Wow, I am totally digressing, but here we go. Let's get back into it. Yeah, so when I started doing this like pleasure lineage for me, like I started really wanting to connect with, you know, the people that came before me and who ignited maybe curiosity in me, and like what were my memories more like even as a child, um like who taught me how to feel good, or what were things that really stood out to me. So I want to get started this journey, start talking about this journey with my 2 grandmothers. 2 distinctly different women. They could not be any more different.
Facts.
My paternal grandmother is the most religious woman that I have ever met. And mind you, back in the day when I went to Sacred Heart, I was part of the lifers. I used to do retreats. We used to go up to the Mother House in San Francisco, which is where all the nuns were, right? They try to indoctrinate you to like, you don't want sex, you want to serve the Lord. And I'm like, I want to do both. They were like, no, you can't. I was like, then this life is not for me.
Not for
I'm
me.
sorry. And I remember, it's so funny this is coming up because I remember asking the question, because they talked a lot about like when you get the call, you can't deny the call. So I raised my hand and I was like, what if you get the call, but you don't want to? And they were like, no, that doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah. But listen, I knew my spidey senses. There was one woman up there. I was like, she don't want this life. I know it. And I'm not going to out her. but she left the
Sister so and so.
sister so and so decided the calling was not for her after all. Maybe like a year after that. So I'm just saying.
Should I know who you're talking about?
I don't think you met her.
Okay.
I think this was more like my time at
Got
Sacred
it.
Heart.
Got it, got it.
Shout out to you, Sister D. That's all I'm
Who
gonna
wanted
say.
the
Who
D?
wanted the D?
I mean, she might have wanted the P. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Maybe
So-
she wanted both.
Maybe. We can only hope. Okay, so let's go back to my
We'll
grandmother.
pray for you,
So-
former sister.
Yes, former Sister D. We know she's got a good heart. And now hopefully she's getting good head too.
Heck yeah.
So my paternal grandmother, super religious, like this woman never wore a pair of pants in her life.
Oh.
Went to church every single day. I know that she is resting in power. She's probably the closest to a saint that I would have ever met, like in like the flesh, right? And then we have our maternal grandmother, who is like the Suge Knight of the family. Like, you know, she has a very strong personality. You know, she loves hard, but you know, she thugs harder. Like,
And she loves the red.
she loves red. So she has this like red pantsuit that she wore, and that's when I was like, bruh, Suge is showing out tonight. But she also has a white one, so she could be Tupac too. Like, but that's my grandma. She is still with us, but you know, she was more about the finer things in life. She really loved opulence in her life. Like, I remember going with her to Macy's and just looking at like the fine jewelry, and she'd be like, bitch, pull that out, we're gonna put it on, having like rings on rings on rings on her finger, just like window
Dang.
shopping and, you know, doing the things. So two distinct women, but the one thing that they really had in common was they both wore red lipstick. They both wore red lipstick. And I remember kind of as a child always being intrigued because my grandma from my dad's side, I feel like she always had lipstick on. She always had her hair combed, very manicured, always in a dress, always in red lipstick. And what society tells us of women in red lips, at least back in the day, right? This is like what, you know, 40 years ago, 35 years ago, 30 years ago. Was, you know, you're a woman of the night, you're a hoe, basically. To me, it says you're a good time, but it was a different time back then. And she really taught me to see, like, no, society's not right because they say these things, but here you are in front of me, this like righteous woman, always wearing her red lipstick, always praying, always doing the thing. And then Suge Knight with the pantsuit, with the red lipstick and her hair done and the jewels blinging. But she also had a soft side, you know, to her. And so that was one of the first things, like being really young, that just didn't like intrigue me, like the red lips. Like I loved it, like just being a child and just kind of wanting to, like, you know, like touch her lips. And so that is one really big like memory for me as a child. Also, like my paternal grandmother had this, I don't know if you're too young to remember, Liz, but she had this little coin purse, and it was brown, and it was like what is it, the like a
clicker.
metal?
Yeah.
Like you would just open it and it would squeeze open, and it was like a staple every time you went.
Mhm.
You always asked your grandma for a penny because my aunt had a gumball machine there.
Yep.
So like when you were lucky if she asked you to go fetch her little bag, and you got to hold it and like squeeze it, and it was just like this like beautiful thing, right? Like I could feel it right now, you know, was like just so tangible and like so great. Oh, I love my grandmas. I love both of them.
I do too.
And then moving on to like my mom. My mom was somebody who, if y'all saw like the season finale, like I guess the finale, season 1 finale of Sexual Frequency, was all about my mom, and she just had this like joy of, you know, just life, this like je ne sais quoi about her, that her love and her heart just attracted everybody to her. But the biggest thing that she taught me was like empathy and compassion. She really taught me the importance of including everyone and making sure that people's voices were heard. And I feel like that is really what fuels my compassionate sluttiness is that my mom showed me, just like one small thing, one kind gesture can change like people's perception, can change the energy in the room, can just be like very, very transformative. Do you guys have anything that you want to share? Because I still got like a list of some people. I'd be talking a lot. No, okay,
Ladies,
I can
ladies.
keep talking.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying listening to your stories.
Okay, well then I shall move on. This one's a tough one because we're not on good terms right now, but my dad. So, my dad also has taught me a lot about pleasure, in my life because I remember being really young. We used to host parties all the time, and like, don't get me wrong, parties that our parents used to throw put our fucking parties to shame.
Bangers.
Like, yeah, fucking bangers. I don't know what kind of drugs they were doing behind our backs, but maybe we'd be doing like the lazy drugs or something. I don't know, but they used to throw bangers, like always up, always partying. And both of our parents were like very great like hosts. My mom was all about being very catering. My dad was always like so funny. He always had a very like kind of larger than life presence. And I remember being a kid and kind of wanting to be around because I knew my dad was going to be throwing the inappropriate jokes where it'd be like, vete para allá, like go over there, like you can't listen to this. But every once in a while, like, you'd be there and you would catch it. And I remember though being there and at the time being so upset, like, you're so wrong. How could you say that? Like, there's kids here. Do not see how inappropriate you are. This was me back in my prudish days. Yes.
It's
I have
also
reformed and changed my ways.
a little embarrassing though, right? Like,
Yes.
definitely there's that part of it.
For sure. However, now I find myself being that embarrassing person where I will say jokes now and I'll be like, oh, damn, I'm sorry. I didn't see that your kid was right there. And I just said pussy like nothing. It's happened. Like,
I just called that woman a cunt, but
that's a word that I don't use like too much. I have to really be in the mood to like use that word. It
A
has to
special
like
word.
evoke some very like deep feelings, like deep feelings for me. That's a deep word. Much like hate for me.
I've been honestly, I've mostly driving using that word, followed by the word bucket. I don't know where that came from.
Cunt bucket.
I just throw it out there like nobody's business,
I'll
and
say
it's
it out
mostly
loud.
when people cut me off and.
So
I
what's
don't
like?
know.
So it's like a cunt bucket,
I
like
don't
kind
know.
of
I have
equivalent
no
to
idea.
like a slutty cunt, and she needs a bucket because she's full of
No, it's
cum.
just
Like,
stupid. To me, cunt has always been like the ultimate. Like, wow, you really went there. And
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know, just bucket. Like,
Cum
I don't
bucket.
know.
Maybe it's the SpongeBob effect. The
I
chum
have
bucket.
no. I couldn't even begin to tell you where that came from, but
We're
yeah.
It's all
referencing.
connected.
We are referencing all the cartoons
All the
tonight.
cartoons.
If y'all missed it, we were referencing Flounder.
And
earlier
those cartoons
from Little.
be referencing undertone things too.
I mean, of course,
Yeah.
he's a sponge under the sea. He's contraception.
Lives in a pineapple.
Like, that's what he is. He's contraception. Like, for real. Yeah, so shout out to my dad. He played a big part in my pleasure seeking and my journey, and like even being like young. I think a lot of people too, we hear pleasure and we think sex right away,
Yeah.
but it's like pleasure in all the ways of, if you ever go to like a family's house who just had like impeccable taste in like their furniture, or the way their house the way the house smelled, feeling on their couches. Like, I mean, we grew up in the times where people kept fucking plastic on their
Plastic.
couches, right? Remember that
Plastic
shit?
on the
Like,
To stick, you
damn.
were wearing shorts or a skirt, forget it. Your ass was
Oh.
sticking to it.
Hell fucking yes. I
Your
hated that
thighs
shit.
would be all red
Yeah.
and like
Talk about a snail trail, man. I'm like, fuck. But yeah, like the things that ignited us, like we asked some friends of ours, you know, who were their pleasure, what was their pleasure lineage. And one of our friend of the show, Dr. Bracho, talked about how he was really into Greek mythology, because Greek mythology Greek mythology portrayed, you know, men's bodies, women's bodies, and it was very, you know, it was very open, it was very fluid. So it was like one of the few places that, as like a gay individual, as a gay male, you can, you know, you can kind of explore and have your mind kind of go places, right? They also mentioned Antoine Moreno mentioned the JC Penney catalog.
Yeah.
I forget what else he
Muscle
said.
magazines.
Muscle
Yeah.
magazines, right? Because he said it wasn't so much about the muscle, but it was like the imagination, like, of it, right? So just a lot of, you know, a lot of different things and people having different perspectives. Just two more people that I really want to shout out because they were really important. My middle school teachers, Miss K, Miss Kesseloff, who just had a birthday, I believe 2 days ago, a heavenly birthday, and Miss Wolf. And it was Miss K and Miss Wolf, and they were always together. And if they were not the image of what a human witch looked like, I don't know what was. They were unapologetically themselves. They were like the first real like radical feminists in my life, aside from like my mom. They truly showed up as themselves every day, like zero fucks given. Their hair was long and just, it was salt and pepper and just so beautiful. Man, now that I'm touching my hair, I'm like, oh my god, did I have a crush on them? I think I had a crush on them.
No, I think it was just
I was gonna send this to
you
Miss
were
Wolf, but
inspired
I'm
by
not
them.
going to send it to them after all. I really was truly inspired by them. They were intelligent. They had a sense of humor. They were just confident. And when you radiate those things, you bring that out in other individuals. And they really did that for me. I remember, this is how old I am, and that's okay, 43. We had a debate about Clarence Thomas when he was going to be confirmed to the Senate, and it was a thing. It was a big thing, and I remember just feeling like I could say whatever the fuck I wanted to those jerk boys who were like, "She's a liar," and I was like, "Let me put some pubes in your fucking soda, jerk. See how you like it." Although I don't think I had pubes back then. I was probably like 12. I don't think I had pubes yet, but they were just so fucking badass. And I remember I wrote in somebody's yearbook right before the summer, like, I hope your boyfriend fucks your brains out. I was in like 7th grade. Who says that? I guess I was sort of like a wannabe
Deep
slut
down
back then,
inside.
even though I was like judging. They read the yearbook. And I remember they called me over. I still like vividly, I could see it. I was scared as fuck walking over to them. And they were like, Miss Gonzalez, we saw what you wrote in the yearbook. And I was like, I was so embarrassed. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. And she was like, oh, she didn't have to tell me anything else. She just said to me, can you bring me your yearbook? Because I want to sign it. And the only 4-letter word that I'm going to write in your yearbook is love. And I was like, the worst punishment. I disappointed you. You don't even have to yell at me. I feel so ashamed. But they were just badass fucking women. And they really helped me get into that the energy of, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, like, whatever your stature is, you just be confident in who you are, and that's all that matters. People will respect you. People will, you know, whoever is going to gravitate toward you will gravitate toward you. And they were just A1 top notch. Miss Wolf, I'm going to plan to have a lunch with you very soon. Bless you.
Bless you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Sorry.
Yeah, you use your voice. Look and look what's going on, girl.
Yeah, look
Hey.
at how they just helped like shape me and who I am, and now I'm here, fucking honoring them and giving them kudos. I know Miss K, you know, she's resting in power, but Miss Wolf just moved back, and so I am gonna plan to see her because badass bitches, we should hang out together. Absolutely. Anybody did this jog any like lineage people and or situations for you guys that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think, well, you mentioned your dad, and it just brought up memories of, because my parents were the same. They were the party hosts all the time. And I remember being so young, like I'm talking about like 4 years old. My brother was 3, and they were just partying. And my parents had a lot of gay friends, and gay was just very normal to us in my house. We had gay family, we had gay friends, and it just taught us, or I just remember my parents being so, it was nothing to anybody, and it was so normal to us, like I mentioned. So when I got older and I was a teenager, all my friends that were coming out at the time, they just kind of gravitated towards my family, my house. It was very accepting, and my parents were always so accepting, and it always made me feel happy, because I had a lot of friends whose parents were so judgmental, and my
Yes.
family was the family that the girls came to when they found out they were pregnant at 15, 16, 17.
Right.
And my parents didn't judge them. My parents allowed me to go to their baby showers. They allowed me to hang out with them
Support
and walk
them.
to school with them still when they were pregnant, and other friends did, like, their parents did not let them hang out with them anymore. So just thinking about that brings me happiness, because it's how I've raised my boys. And they know nothing other than we accept everyone. We don't judge anyone.
That's
And
great.
and
Yeah.
that's just that brings me happy. It brings me to a place of happiness in remembrance of all of that.
I love that you shared that because in our household it was always accepted, but it was like,
Never
oh,
said.
but you better not, but
yeah.
not
Okay.
you,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And as I'm doing my lineage and I'm thinking about these things, the icons that I chose that were very impactful to me at a young age were all individuals who were very much bending what the norm was, whether it was gender bending or just showing up authentically as yourself. Is like a was just something so important for me. Like I remember being really young and watching Purple Rain like for the first time, being at like a family party, and that was probably the first set of breasts that I ever saw like on like television. And I remember someone's parent happened to be walking by, because back in the day they just threw you in a room
Oh yeah.
and was like, "Oh, whoa, what are we watching?" They were covering the TV with their jacket, and I was kind of like, yo, move over, lady. Like I was probably 7 or 8 years old, but Prince as an artist was somebody who just showed up as himself. And it wasn't someone, well, yeah, people question like his sexuality. That didn't last very long. And he was somebody who could wear heels, he could wear lace, he could do whatever he wanted with his hair, assless. Yeah, I remember that was huge. MTV, he did the assless thing. Was it Cream that he sang?
Yeah, I think so.
Cream, he was wearing yellow leather. Who does that? Like fucking amazing. And watching Purple Rain and seeing the range from like Darling Nikki and being like, oh my God, like this is so fucking disgusting. But yet, like my pussy heartbeat going like, ooh, like this is so exciting. And then going to like just the velvety guitar sounds of Purple Rain just was everything for me. Like, I can't, like, he is somebody who is like at the top for me of just an example of what it's like to show up like who you are and give zero fucks, because he didn't, and he was gone too soon, and it was just his anniversary.
Yeah.
Rest in power, Prince. And it was interesting because I was talking to Rick about this. I was like, yeah, I'm going to play some Prince in the background. And my Facebook memory, yes, I still have a Facebook. Don't come for me. But my Facebook memory of today actually was going to the movies to watch Purple Rain when he passed. So yeah, a big person I wanted to share. We have some comments, Rick. What do we got
So
going on?
Evolve with Nicolette is on, and David
Hey,
Campos, both are. Nico's saying, hey, what's poppin'? Love the new studio. David Campos
Thank
is
you,
saying new studio
boo.
looks great. Congrats.
Thank you,
And
David.
then Nico again says, oh wow, your parents are cut from a different cloth. What a blessing. And that's
Yeah.
referencing
Oh,
your
okay.
folks.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I agree, because back when we were young, younger, like it obviously, like, people were not as open and coming
Yeah.
out, as now, there's a lot more acceptance. It wasn't as easy for our
No, it
like
wasn't.
our age group,
And I feel like our generation, I mean, we grew up in the 90s. It was everything. It was the era of everything and
Yes.
anything. And it was just,
Yeah, pretty much.
Still, I had friends. One of my very closest friends growing up, his mom passed away in 1999. We were 19 years old. And she was dying. And every single day for about 3 months, I kid you not when I say, because we lived in the front house, he lived in the back house.
Mhm.
And his mom, we'd go to the hospital every single day for 3 months. And he was trying to come out to his mom. Every day we'd be driving to Alhambra Hospital, and he'd say, today's the day I'm going to tell my mom. And I was his cheerleader. Just do it. It's going to make you feel so much better. You're finally going to feel like you can live your life. And no, he didn't. Like, she passed away, and he never came out to her. And it was just one of those things. But my whole family knew. I mean, he sat there on the porch with my mom and smoked and told her his whole life story, but he couldn't do that with his own parent. And you don't share everything with your parents, but we were pretty open, and I'm grateful for that. But I just, we got to teach our kids different.
And yeah, and that's just it is so beautiful, because we do get to parent and we get to teach, like, our kids to do it differently.
Yes.
And to be open and to be loving and to be accepting. It's just what we do. It's a new way, it's a new paradigm. There's like no other way. Other people who were like a big influence for me and my pleasure journey was like Walter Mercado. Do we even have to say the name?
Yes.
Like the opulence, the being who the fuck you actually are. Just love him so much. George Michael. George Michael. For all of you young gays out there, and maybe not so younger gays, like they are talking to us. Do your homework, because George Michael is an absolute icon and somebody who was not able to live his life in full authenticity. But if you ever want to listen to a truly beautiful song, it is called Father Figure. Do yourself a favor and look up, search it. Yes. Search up the lyrics, because it's absolutely like
George
amazing.
Michael, Boy George.
Boy George, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Crying Game.
Bowie.
One day soon I'm gonna tell the world. No one else, just me. Okay, about the Crying Game. So many to name. There's just like so many people. A video that I remember I was all about was gosh, what's his name? Was it Chris Isaac? Wicked Game.
Yeah. That's
Oh my!
I heard that song,
hold
and all I
on to
think
your
of is
chonies.
Dylan and Brenda breaking up in the porch.
Oh,
Wow.
hold on to your chonies on that song. If you want to see a good ass video from back in the day, look up that Helena Christensen. Was she the model?
I think
gorgeous.
so.
On the beach. Holy shit! Like that'll get you wet for fucking sure.
You remember when we even used to watch, like, MTV was actually music
videos? Yeah.
Videos.
Yeah.
I
Music
just used to
video,
wait all day for the Morrissey videos, for the
Yes.
Cure videos.
And those are two other big icons too, because I remember being really young and liking the music from the Cure, but the first time that I saw Robert Smith, I was like,
What? Who? How
he
many?
is wearing red lipstick.
Yes, and
Hold
a
up.
good shade at that.
Excuse me. Black nail polish. And this bitch is teasing his hair like it's the 80s. I mean, yeah, I was the 90s when I heard him, but he was
Yes.
big in the 80s, y'all. Like, what? Singing songs like Boys Don't Cry, I was done. Like, I love him so much. I remember stealing some pictures from a magazine in like a dental office that had an article on the cure. And I remember being like so methodical in the way I cut it. Oh my God, I'm a stealer. I stole. It's okay. I stole. Man, it's
It was for a
the
good cause.
Wow.
It was Robert
it's the
Smith.
mamitas. Shout out, sponsor us. Hey, who do I see in the chat, Rick?
Yo Fit's in the chat. She's saying hi. OMG, I'm late, but I made it. What up, Nico? Hello, familia. What's up, primo?
What's up, yo? We miss you. Yo is tapping in all the way from Nashville, guys.
From
Oh.
Nashville,
Exciting.
from
It's super fucking late over there.
Tennessee.
And her
From
hubby is my birthday
Tennessee.
twin, so we know that he's bomb as fuck.
Oh,
Like, say less. Sing Your Life, Morty.
Ugh.
Another anthem for
Yes.
like live your best life.
Any fool
I'm
can
living my
go
best life.
there.
Listen, if I ever am karaokeing with any of you guys, I always get like, what song? What song? Remind me, bitch. Sing Your Life.
Well, we need to go to Morsioki. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but
Okay,
I've never been.
So
Yes,
I
wow.
think my bucket list in life right now, we're
Your cunt bucket list?
Yes, my cunt bucket list is I want to sing "Girl Afraid" at Morsioki.
Oh shit.
But I need to get fucked up because
Yeah.
I just don't have. But they're so non-judgmental there. Like
I
you
can
could
help you
sound
with
like
that.
total shit,
I
and
can help you with that.
everybody will
It's
cheer
fun.
for you, and
Yep.
there's just so much fun.
That is my
They
kind
just
of
actually
karaoke
came
spot.
back. April was their first time in 2 years that they were back.
What spot do they do it
First
at?
Thursday of every month at Eastside Love in Boyle Heights.
Thursday. Hey, we're looking at that spot for a potential live show.
That's next week. We should go.
I need to get a sitter. Thursday is my night with my kids.
Oh, okay.
What time does it start?
It's they don't start doing karaoke till like 10.
We'll put them to bed.
Put them to bed. Give them some Benadryl.
Yeah,
We'll
give
put
us
them to
some
bed.
NyQuil, Benadryl, whatever. I'm telling
Just
you,
kidding.
BRB.
Well, listen, time is running out. Like I had a lot to fucking say, guys. Apparently,
Yo
Um,
Fit's ready for Sexual Frequency Nashville nights.
Oh,
LOL,
listen.
manifesting.
listen. I have a friend, who wants to have a hoedown for her divorce party. So we are eyeing Nashville. We're gonna come out to you, and we'll bring Rick along, and we'll do a live show. We'll set something up, girl. We got this. Nashville, here we come. Woo woo!
Yeah.
Sexual Frequency is gonna go on the road.
That would be fun.
But dude, our time is running like so late. We're running a little bit late, but that's okay. I just want to encourage you guys to do the activity, do a lineage of pleasure, and see what it is that you find. Actually, Yo shared with us today too in the morning. I asked her the question, and she shared a beautiful story about her mom and her high heels, and it's just really beautiful to tap into that energy and those memories and kind of bring that to life again. And just go out and say thank you to those people who have inspired you to live a life of pleasure and happiness, and maybe also spark a little fire for you to do that more often in your life. I'm going to end the topic with that because it is a time that you have been waiting for. It is the debut of our newest segment. Everybody give it up. Clap it up for my sister, High Priestess. And this is her segment, her monthly segment called Horny Astrology. Hey.
Thank you. Oh my God, guys. I am so excited to jump into this because there's a lot of sexy energy going on in the astrology for me.
Yes, there is.
There's some challenging things happening also. Eclipse season is literally starting at the end of this month. We have another eclipse mid-May. And then brace yourselves.
Oh no.
We have Mercury going retrograde.
Not the reggaeton de reversa,
Right.
mami.
Right. So you would think, maybe this isn't a sexy energy, right? Like we all know, Mercury retrograde is not fun. But this is sexual frequency.
Yes,
And
it
we
is.
find the sexy where we can.
Yes.
Okay?
And all the places.
Exactly. So week 1 is coming in hot and Venus is taking center stage. What do we know about Venus? Venus is the lover. She rules all things love and money and softness and beauty. And she kicks off day 1 of May, sextiling with Pluto. Sexy sextiles. Here we go.
Ooh.
She feels super fun, flirty, and playful in this aspect. But the very next day, Venus enters Aries, which is fiery. It's action, it's passion. So when the planet that rules love moves into a sign like Aries, it can get intense, people. What does that tell us about our love in May? It tells us to be bold, passionate, enthusiastic. Venus in Aries is telling us to raise the motherfucking temperature in May.
Ooh, turn it up.
Light it
Getting
up,
hot in
bitch.
her.
Turn it up.
Then we have Mercury in Gemini sextiling Venus. More sextiling with Venus. She's a freak this month.
The
Okay?
That's me.
sextiling. Hey, I'm feeling like Venus sextile me all over.
Exactly. So Mercury feels at home in Gemini. It's the planet of communication, sextiling with the planet of love, and it lands on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh,
So why not try getting a little loose with some margaritas or some micheladas and amping up
Or
the
some
dirty
mamitas.
talk?
Hint, hint.
Exactly. That's why we
Sponsor.
picked the mamitas. Tequila and soda.
Sponsorship.
mamitas, come at me.
Amp up that dirty talk. It's the perfect time to get creative with your wordplay in the bedroom or the bathroom or the kitchen, wherever it is you guys be getting nasty.
Hey.
Where do you guys
Everywhere.
get nasty?
Everywhere.
So amp up that dirty talk. The middle of the month might not be as inviting for everyone as week 1. Mercury goes retrograde in Gemini on the 10th. And we know when Mercury is in retrograde, it's important to triple check your information, hold on making any important decisions, and plan for all of your plans to fall through. Because when all else fails, you're always your best backup plan. But if you do happen to find yourself with a playmate, I would recommend pulling out the gags because miscommunication is imminent. Okay?
Y'all heard that. The gags.
Let your mouth rest while your body does all the talking. Okay?
Yes.
Just shut it. Zip it. Then we get to the full moon on the 15th, which is a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. The moon hates being in Scorpio, by the way. The eclipse, this eclipse.
Damn, no love for Scorpios ever. Fuck.
No, Scorpio's good, but not for the moon. Not for the moon. Okay, so this eclipse is a good time for releasing in order to move forward. So make this day a self-care day to get yourself a bottle of wine or champagne, run a bath, put your phone on silent, and take your time with yourself. Pull out your crystal wand that you bought from Goddess and facilitate that release that you need. And if you get the right one, if you get one of the special ones that she has, you can actually see the release happen. So check out the different options
Squirter
that Goddess has. With all that, the month wraps up with Gemini season starting on the 20th. Shout out to my Gemini.
Hey.
Right here.
Hey.
Oh,
I'm a
yes.
Virgo. We get along so well.
Yay,
We're
see,
ruled
this
by
makes
Mercury.
sense.
So then Mars enters Aries and Venus enters Taurus, which are both their ruling signs. And this gives us a special boost in courage, spontaneity, sensuality, and confidence. So if there's something that you've been wanting to try in or outside of the bedroom, the 24th through the 28th is a great time to take the ram by the horns and make it happen. Venus is going to be in Taurus for a few weeks, and she is ready to bear it all and take it all, and you should be too. So use the new moon on the 30th to plant those seeds and set the intentions. This was Horny Astrology, where we put the ass in astrology.
Hey. I love it.
Love it.
I want to grab the bull by the horn.
The
The
ram,
bull
the
or the
ram.
ram, both of them work.
Get that pegging action going. Y'all heard that.
Pegasus.
Yes. The skies told you to. It's okay.
Yes.
If you want to hear more or tap in on that, you can stick around for Pillow Talk. once we end the show. We're going to stay live on YouTube. And if you guys have any questions about horny astrology or the topic, feel free to drop it into the chat. Congratulations, priestess. That was
Thank you.
great. That was very
Thank you.
informative, a lot of fun. And I may or may not have needed to put a towel down on the chair.
Snail trails in the studio.
That was not in my contract at this studio. So, Jeff, I hope you're listening. He's going to make some stipulations now.
Like, oh, need to add it in there.
He's gonna
But-
put plastic covers like the couches on the chairs.
I was like, no, not my thighs getting stuck. We appreciate all of you for joining us and hanging with us and exploring your pleasure lineage with us. I want to thank Eileen for being here.
Thank you,
Rick,
guys.
as always, setting the beautiful tone, dropping the commercials, all the things. And Priestess, hey, shout out to you for that debut, which was pretty fucking great.
Yay, thank you.
Please remember to follow us on all of the platforms. It's been on the ticker, y'all. Go back and take a look at it. We are here every Wednesday live at 9 p.m. To catch us live, you have to join on YouTube, Lotus Hustle Life, or Infinity Studios. And the episode will drop on all streaming platforms. We don't know what day yet. Maybe Friday, maybe
Yeah.
Tuesday. We got to figure it out.
I think Friday.
Friday sounds good.
Friday's
I
good.
like
Friday
yeah,
sounds good.
gives you the weekend to
Yeah,
catch
get
up
nasty.
and get
See,
nasty.
but yeah, I think like most people listen to podcasts though, like during lunchtime at work.
Fact.
I feel like that's what like the research says. So well, you know, we'll
Alright,
see.
we'll look
We're
at
gonna
we'll
fig-
look at the research.
We'll figure
we'll
it
check
out.
the numbers.
We will
We'll
check
see.
the research, check the numbers. Because we're some ethical sluts and some statistical sluts too. Not
Damn.
me. Who's the number slut in this outfit? I guess maybe we're not. But again, we appreciate for you guys, all of you who stood with us. We still got Yo, and we have Nico. She says congratulations
Thank you.
to the high priestess.
Thank you. What does she call herself? The sixth sister?
Yes, the sixth sister. Yo's comments were fucking great too. I'm here for horny astrology.
Yay.
She's saying, damn, Mercury, let me live. And oh shit, early anal August. It's always good
Ooh.
for anal, girl. Anal every day. This is gonna be
That's
on
right.
the
Could be
shirt.
anal
Hey.
April.
Anal
Oh.
April, anal every day, baby. This is what we are.
Anal all the time.
Yes,
Yes.
that's gonna be on the next shirt. If you want to pre-order, just hit me up. It may or may not have like a booty hole. Maybe, maybe not.
Ooh.
Right? That'd be kind of dope. Imagine, can we do one that has like
A onesie with a hole.
your third eye be a booty hole?
Oh my
I'm trademarking that right the fuck now. Your third
I
eye,
actually
baby.
love that.
Your third eye. Again, thank you for joining us. Stick around for Pillow Talk. This was Sexual Frequency, and we're gonna end the show like we do always with the wisdom of my mama, of my ancestors who said, play with yourself every night so that you know your body and you know what you like. This is Goddess Lore,
Rick Rock.
High priestess.
Eileen.
and we will see you next week, baby. 9 p.m. on Wednesday.
Bye.
Adios.
What up, live?
Hey, welcome to Pillow Talk.
Meow.
The first Pillow Talk edition of season 2. If you're still joining us, let us know in the chat that you're here. I see you, Nico. I see Yo. She's putting in that book order for her
Third
booty
eye.
hole third
booty.
eye. I love it. There's a couple more of you that are here. Go ahead and drop your name in the chat. Let us know who you are. We want to give you a shout out. We're just here to debrief the show. If you guys have any questions, let us know. We got a lot of information that we just heard on horny astrology. A lot of info. So if you guys have questions about the astrology, like let us know because there's a lot going on. If you guys need also like emergency kit, hit me up because I got little kits going, little sage wand. We got Palo Santo. We got some mushroom coffee, some like a little eye mask so you could rest because it's good to rest during eclipse season.
And she got that stuff for your release too, if you need it.
Yes, absolutely. So if you're joining us in the chat, if you guys have any questions, I actually have questions for you, Liz. Like,
Yeah.
what is it that got you so juiced about astrology?
Oh man. I definitely have always been into astrology, and it kind of ties into the topic a little bit because I remember being, you know, in the grocery store when they had those little scrolls of
Yes.
your
I
astrology.
remember those.
I got one time because my mom was like, "You're not gonna get that. Like, you don't even know what this is."
If you've learned anything from tonight's show, is that my
You're
sister and I are
thieves.
You guys are
thieves.
thieves. You guys steal shit.
Look, and I used to be real clever about it when I was a kid. Like, I remember one time I got a chapstick and I like put it on the floor.
That's enough.
And kicked it out the door, and then
Oh,
my mom
shit.
like beat my ass when she found out. But anyway,
Not the
That's a good one.
tactics. Don't be sharing
Hey,
the
that's
sister
everybody did
secrets.
that. Everybody did that. Like you drop it, like whoops, somebody
Right?
kicks it,
Like,
whoops.
I didn't drop this. Oh, I guess it's outside now.
Yeah. I was like, it dropped. It came out of my bag. That's why. That's what it was.
I mean, I was like 6 or something. Okay, this isn't
Right.
me like at 13.
So
being a
at the
klepto.
time that you knew what morally was right and wrong. Got it.
Wow, I'm blessed. Okay.
Okay, I kid.
Yes,
so
yes,
you
yes.
stole the scroll.
So I mean, I always have been interested in astrology, but like everybody else, you start with your sun sign, right? And that's what everybody thinks. And then I had like skepticism from that because it's like, well, I know other Virgos who I'm nothing like.
Right.
Like, and a lot of Virgo traits didn't make sense to me. And then I learned about like all the different signs and you have a birth chart and all that, but I never got super into it. It was probably about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, where I came across the Chani app. And it's an app from an astrologer. Her name's Chani Nicholas, and she's amazing.
Queer and just everything I want my friend to be.
Yes, exactly. And also, like, I get emails from them all the time. It's like, oh, we have these positions open, and we're this great company, and you get unlimited like period pay, like shit like that. So I'm like, oh my god, I love her. Anyway, you can put in your information to get your personalized birth chart, and it really dives deep and tells you what everything means. And then I ended up buying her book, and it's called You Were Born for This, Astrology for Radical Self-Acceptance. And it's kind of like one of those, what are the, like, choose your adventure type books where you're like filling in stuff, but it's personalized to your birth chart. And then I actually got my birth chart read by an astrologer. What's her name? On Instagram.
Coda Queen Astrology.
Coda Queen Astrology.
She's amazing.
A general birth chart reading with her, and it was so like, you want to hear someone tell you about yourself, go to an astrologer and have them read your birth chart. And it's
someone
like,
who really knows, though. Like,
yeah, of course, not me. I'm not. I forgot to say that I'm not a professional. I'm still just learning. But it really, like, everything she said, I was like, oh my god, that's me. Oh my god, yes. Oh, this makes so much sense. And there's so many. Like, I'm just at the tip of the iceberg. There's, some people talk about asteroids, different points on your chart, degrees.
There's like Chiron,
insane.
Your Saturn return.
Insane.
There's a lot going on.
So I did the book, and then I just really, if I have like the subscription and I get like my personalized readings, and it's weekly, so she does them for the week, and it just like, because everybody's like, oh, astrology, that's stupid, like it's all the same, but then you can be like, nah, look at your birth chart. So if you have your birth time, the place that you were born, you can get your free birth chart anywhere online. You just search free birth chart. You put in all that information. It's the most accurate when you have the time and location.
Yeah.
But in the book, she actually has Frida Kahlo and Maya Angelou's birth chart, and she has the times, and you see, you know, they have successful in their lives, and like everything just adds up and makes sense. So it was like, I've always been
There's something
into,
to it.
yeah, it gives that extra like, yeah, I had a feeling things were like kind of weird, and like
Yeah.
everything's connected, and the sky, you know, says a lot. It's like a map.
Yeah, and some of us are definitely more sensitive than others. If you're really, your birth chart is literally like the minute that you're born. It's like, imagine someone just took a
Screenshot.
yeah, like a screenshot of the sky, and
Yeah.
it's like just where all of the planets are, and yeah, yeah,
Your major three, your sun, your moon, and your rising, and they all mean something different. And you know, to my point where I was like, oh, I don't really feel like a Virgo. When I combine it
Yeah.
all together, it's like, oh, I see it now. I get it.
yeah. Like, okay, so my youngest son is a Virgo. He's 7, and he's just like fucking fire. And so when I actually did his part, he has an Aries moon. And I was like, that makes so much fucking sense right now. And then also what I learned when I knew he had an Aries moon is that in different times in your life, you relate more to different cycles. So like the moon, you relate more to when you're the youngest age, because the moon is the representation of the mother. And so that's who your attachment is closer to, like the mother. I can't remember what the next phase was, probably rising. So I mean, there's so much to learn, and we're glad to have you here with us, and you're gonna be on.
I'm
and
excited. Look, I'm gonna be honest. God has had to scale me back a lot, because the Virgo in me was like,
yes,
I'm gonna give you definitions of all these words I'm saying. I'm gonna be every single day, and I wrote out my segment. I recorded myself, and it was like 15 minutes. I was like, oh shit,
we gotta scale it. 5 minutes, bro.
No, she was
5
like,
minutes.
how much time do you need? Before I had written it out, and I was like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And then like, I mean, you could kind of see.
Yeah, last night she was like,
this
are
is
you
my word,
still
but, like,
awake?
look at all
And
my
we
dates.
FaceTime, and she was like,
it
it was 15 minutes. And I was like, no.
You
These
did
all
good though.
open.
Yeah,
I
you
need to
did
look
good.
at
I
that
mean,
after.
Thank you.
we were like 5-6 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah,
She came
It wasn't
I had
prepared.
it
bad.
down.
You came
It was-
I
prepared.
had it down.
It was so great. And I had to tell her, like, Virgo,
Chill.
you gotta chill, because people are gonna, like, they want to know just like, when do I fuck, what do I do, I prep the booty, all of those things, right? Because aspects and trines and stuff, it's like, you know, to a lot of people it's like speaking Chinese.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have people who are super interested. So where can they find you on Instagram?
You can find me at hi.priestess88 on Instagram. Dot as in period.
Nico just said not all the definitions.
Yeah, but she
No.
wanted all the definitions. I was on no ho. We are not doing
just-
that.
I just was going to talk about you know, some of the words I was using. I'm like, they don't know what that means. But then I stuck with just the sex styling, because I'm like, oh, sexy, sex styling, it
Right,
goes.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to do it that way, because I was like, 15 minutes, that's your own podcast. Like, there's podcast episodes that
Yep.
people put out for 10, 15 minutes, and that's a podcast.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, we need to scale it down. We need to do 5 minutes, and, you know, we can debrief and do all of the things. But you did such a great job.
you.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Such a good
Yeah, it was
real
so
good.
good.
I had fun.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
looking
that's what
forward to
matters.
it.
That's
Yeah.
what it's all about, having fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of juiciness
That's right.
coming through. in the
May
month,
is
so,
juicy as hell.
Yeah.
Venus is like, do I make you horny, baby?
Do
Do I?
Do I make a honey?
Randy.
Oh, behave.
That was almost
Lower,
my end
baby.
tagline. But then I was like, bitch, you're corny as fuck. Don't do that.
And I'll be sitting here like this.
Number 2. Who's number 2?
Who does number 2 work for? You tell them.
Nico saying, yeah, it was great. This Virgo is proud of you.
Oh, thank
Aw.
you.
That means a lot. The six
Virgo
sister coming
love.
through.
Yeah.
Yes, Virgo love.
That's right.
Oh man. Yo, that video you got up there is looking hella scary, Rick.
I know. I saw it
For
right now. I was
real.
like, eek.
That's a jam up there, yo.
I know, but like the
Well,
visual
I mean, yeah,
is like
I don't know if that's part of the video
scary.
or just
That's
yeah.
very
But
statue.
it looks pretty crazy.
It's like
Ay.
The
like
cement
The
man.
Matrix meets Atlanta or something. Like, oh, Atlanta. When is it?
Oh my
Tomorrow,
God.
huh?
It's such a
Atlanta
good
drops on
season.
Thursday?
Are they Thursdays or Fridays? I can't remember.
Oh, but you know what we got tonight? Survivor.
there it is.
I'm gonna get home and it's gonna be naked Survivor time.
There you go.
Tuesday is my day for all my shows.
Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
What do you
So-
watch on Tuesdays?
Oh my god, it just
The
it's
Housewives?
so random. So yes, it's the Housewives of New Jersey,
Yes, bitch.
and then it's the Little Johnstons.
oh, I don't
Seven
know
Little
what that one
Johnstons.
is.
Oh my god, they're little people.
Okay.
They're the best ever. Shout out to the 7 Little Johnstons. And
Shout
then I
out
watch
the littles.
oh my god, after a year, I love the show, but I hate that it's like a whole year between Mayans came back last week.
Oh,
I
You
never
know,
saw it.
my
I'm
tattoo
hooked.
redo is from someone who came out on the Mayans.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
the
so
same
that
one who
came
did
back.
like us.
So then
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Mayans, and then I have Teen Mom too, or Teen Mom, whichever
who
is it.
is Teen Mom? Is that
I
you?
am.
Or maybe
I'm
my sister
so into
Momo.
Teen Mom.
Okay, I'm into the Housewives, and Nico's on here. Look, I was a recovering Bravo whore, and then Nico just dragged me right back in.
Oh no, I'm full
and,
addict right now.
Just
and
when I
they
Pull
pushed
me
me
back
back in.
in.
Yes, and also, Nico and I have talked about this a lot of like, how desperate are they trying to make Louis
know.
Italian? Like, whole Italian, bro.
Yes.
So even when I was
He's
like,
he went from his name's Louis, now he's like Louis.
Watch What Happens Live.
Do
It
it.
was like,
Do it.
anytime you hear us
Luigi.
say this name, and it's like Luis,
Yeah, they're
but
like
it's Louis. Like, bruh, that's not
Yes.
Louis. He's not Italian. Like, stop it.
Yeah. And after all of that, then I end my night. My nightcap. This is us.
Oh,
Oh,
see, I can't
I
watch that
love
show.
it.
I'm like, I got enough
I'm
emotional
I'm
sadness
just a
in my
junkie.
life.
I
like,
love
And
it.
I
to
just
watch
sit there
any of
and
that.
I DVR all of it,
uh-huh.
and I gotta watch it, and because I can't sit there and watch 5 hours worth of TV
Right,
on
right.
a Tuesday night.
I like
I
the
will, but I
Housewives
can't.
of Miami. I like them.
I watch
like
New Jersey and Orange County. Those are my.
How boring was Orange County though?
So I don't like anybody
Ugh.
that's on it. Heather is fake as fuck.
I had high hopes for Fancy
Yes.
Pants.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, I love Heather. She belong in that circle of people. And then when she tried to do like that mafia hit on Shannon, I was just like, no, Heather.
What the fuck? Louis?
I'm like, no.
Louis tried
No,
No.
I'm into
I'm like, sugar
Survivor.
soap. Okay, see.
Survivor's our thing, right? Rick
Yeah,
and Snack Club.
yeah.
We used to watch it all together. And Atlanta, like that's like my jam right now. And the Housewives, yeah,
Okay, wait.
Nico just said Heather was such a disappointment.
big time.
Yes. She's
Big
like,
time.
if you
The
ever,
mafia hit.
Not the mafia.
Ever.
hit.
yeah, she's like, if you ever come for me and my family again. And I'm like, oh, you need a little Botox there and there and there. Terry
Like-
needs to hook you up, girl. Because you're cracking.
Terry could get it though. Terry,
I
bro,
love
could get
Terry.
it. Heather could get it too. Like, let's do it in your podcast studio with your big ass
Yes.
picture of yourself. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, well, that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight on Pillow Talk. Thank you again for joining us, Nico. We see you hanging in there for the Housewives.
Yeah.
Housewives.
Appreciate the love,
talk.
Nico.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate the love. We will see Nico on Friday. She will do a live tapping on her Instagram. You can follow her at Evolve with Nicolette. Again, thank you for joining us. We will see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. For Sexual Frequency, baby. Season 2,
right.
episode 31. We'll see you.
Bye, y'all.
Besitos.
Bye.
Buenas noches. Oh, I like that, Cardi.